going to read Chapter 2 from Grand Theft Boblo, which is for sale, so I'm reading it. I don't want to do too much explanatory bullcrap up front, but I wanted to say the behaviors and actions and thoughts of the main character Lee in Grand Theft Boblo do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the author. Maybe he's, anyway, I don't want to be held responsible for the kind of crap he's doing. Maybe it's not totally autobiographical. Alright, this is Chapter 2. Bonus. Sitting at the tire store, I started fantasizing about whipping the shit out of her with a cat of nine tails. I could picture the back of her shirt torn open from the whip, but her back was just smooth and white in my mind. I couldn't actually imagine whipping her bloody. And how do those nine tails really hurt anybody? Seems like you'd just be flopping leather straps on somebody and they'd laugh at you. It felt silly when I imagined carrying out this fantasy on a long ship, so I abandoned that for my more common fantasy of just slapping her. 45 minutes sitting on the wall of humility, and they hadn't started on my damn tire yet. There's a young thing at the counter in a Michigan State varsity jacket. Medium well-done blonde with half her hair in a top knot. Pug nose, kind of puffy face. Cat of nine tails forgotten, now my daydream is rubbing my hand down that ass. Angie's eyes were bigger and brighter than this beady-eyed softball player at the counter. She used to have that selective shyness that would come out when I told her not to close her eyes, to look at me, and she could only lock eyes with me for a second before turning to the side and pulling me down into her neck. Now she aims them at me to let me know it's not the dog she's calling you piece of shit. $60 fucking for one tire, and I'm sitting an hour before they even start putting it on. I imagine making a small scene by asking the quick as molasses man at the counter to give me my check back. I imagine tearing up the work order, walking out and driving my wobbling truck away. Somebody else to dump my hostility on instead of Angie. Then I'd be waiting another hour at some other tire shop. Finally, one of the workers comes in through the side door to the garage and calls out, "Lee with the Ford Ranger?" He tells me to pull it into Bay 4, and that's the only excitement I'll get for the next half hour. After I limp my wounded steed into the garage, I rejoin the row of poor saps waiting inside. I can't remember exactly why she kept calling me a piece of shit this morning. Something to do with hitting snooze one too many times. Like when I asked, "Are you going to work today?" She said, "Oh." When I said, "Want another 10 minutes?" She said, "Ugh." So then I'm making her sandwich for work, if you can believe that. Not because I'm a doting husband, but because it discourages her from buying fast food every damn day for lunch. She's sitting on the bed smoking, saying, "God damn it, Lee, now I don't have time to shower. I gotta go to work stinking now because of you." She's sitting there smoking for 10 minutes, which is perfectly reasonable in her world. She couldn't possibly skip the cigarette and take a quick shower instead. Waking up gradually with a smoke is a human right by her way of thinking. If a fire broke out in the apartment complex in the middle of the night and woke her, Angie would turn on the TV and smoke a cigarette before escaping, because it would be inconceivable to go anywhere or do anything in the morning before her first cigarette. Come to think of it, just the fact that she sat in the bedroom this morning instead of turning on the TV was evidence of her agitated state. "You're going to do the damn dishes today, and vacuum the dog hair off the couch." I heard her shout as I stuffed Fritos in a baggie for her lunch. She must have paused in her list of commands to take a puff, because she resumed in the same tone. "You think you could throw away some of these outdoors magazines lying next to the fucking bed? And stop bringing new ones home from work." "Yeah, fine." I zipped up her insulated lunch bag with the paw print pattern on it and hung it by the shoulder strap on the front doorknob. Maybe that's where I got the idea for the cat of nine tails later, because for a minute there I thought of swinging the lunch bag by the shoulder strap and smashing it against the wall. Then I thought of smashing it over her head, which would be nice because it's just a soft padded bag with a sandwich and Fritos in it. It wouldn't hurt her, but it would make me feel better. Nerf brand domestic violence. "I hate you," she said. The cigarette must have been done because she let flow with a stream of, "It's beyond me how you can do paperwork all fucking day and come home too tired to do any dishes or clean anything. Looks like your damn father's house around here. I mean, really, Lee, how am I supposed to keep everything clean and go to work every day on whatever stupid shift they feel like assigning to me? So call in, tell them you're sick again." "Fuck you, I hate you." She stomped into the bathroom. "And I'm not going to your stupid father's next weekend. We're going to stay home and finish cleaning this apartment. So stop telling him we're going over there without asking me what I want to do." I grabbed the jeans off the back of the recliner in the living room and stepped into them as I walked toward the bathroom, where Angie was lathering her face with a bar of translucent yellow soap for sensitive skin. I asked you if you wanted to go and you said fine. I hate you, she said, and dipped her face into cupped handfuls of water to rinse off. I hate how he cooks. I'm not eating over there ever again with those cats always trying to jump on your lap while you're eating. Fuck, I don't have time to use toner. You piece of shit, why did you keep hitting the snooze? Angie pushed past me into the bedroom and started rifling through drawers. I grabbed a fuzzy black hairband out of the medicine cabinet to hold my ponytail, but it was too stretched out. Just hurry up so I can get you to work and be away from you for a few hours. I dropped the fuzzy black one on top of the garbage and got a thin yellow band that snapped the hair tight on the back of my neck. I'm going back to Flint, she said. I don't have to stay here. She hoisted the Garfield nightie over her head and tossed it on the bed. She whipped one arm and then the other into a purple sports bra. Looked like she was wrapped up in a spandex cat's cradle for a second. Then she pulled it down her chest and situated each tit in the contraption so they'd rest right. At that point we must have woke Jack because he crawled out from under the bed to see what we were barking about. I crossed the bedroom to get some socks out of the drawer, thinking of what kind of hurtful words I could shape into a tennis racket and lob the hate back to her side of the net. So I didn't notice when Jack stretched his legs out in front of me. My bare foot landed on the tips of his front paws, and he yiped like he'd been cut in half. I was frightened by the unexpected bark, so I yiped and tried to jump sideways, as if I could still avoid stepping on him. Jack just trotted off to the corner of the room by the clothes hamper, plopped his ass on the ground, and spread his back legs in a V so he could bite the itchy spots around his balls. Meanwhile, I hopped from one foot to the other, shouting, "Son of a bitch! Stupid goddamn dog! Are you all right?" I reached down to squeeze his front paws to make sure they weren't broken or anything. My veterinary skills aren't that brilliant, but the usual test is, if he doesn't yelp again when you press on his stepped-on paw, then he can't be hurt too bad. Angie sat on the foot of the bed to pull up her blue uniform pants. She stood up to button them, zip them, and roll the cuffs up. "Lee, you're going to do the dishes today, aren't you? I mean, they're piling up on the floor, so I can't hardly get to the microwave without tripping over them. Are you going to do dishes?" "Yes, I'll do some tonight, but I have to get a new tire put on the truck. And then I'm taking the laundry to Stan's, and then maybe I'll do a couple sinks of dishes." "You never finish the dishes. All you ever do around here is take out the garbage and do the laundry, and then ain't no effort after you get the machines loaded and sit there for 2 hours. I'll do the laundry tonight at the machines downstairs. You just finish the dishes." "Yeah, you won't. You'll watch fucking TV all night. Put one load in the washer and promise to do the rest tomorrow. Then you'll whine at me to go put it in the dryer, when we can get it done free at your uncle's." "I don't care. Take it to Stan's, but you're doing all the dishes tonight. I'm 15 minutes late now, you piece of shit." I walked up to her with my finger out, straight and stiff, screaming, "Stop calling me a piece of shit! You're going to stop calling me a piece of shit. You need to take responsibility for your own fucking schedule. I'm not going to be your fucking alarm clock operator anymore. And if you can't get up on your own to go to work and keep a job for more than a goddamn month, I'm not going to be your fucking mommy and baby your lazy ass anymore." At this point she backed up to the bed, sitting on it and leaning back farther and farther to keep away from my finger. We can both feel the potential in my finger that I keep shoving at her chest, knowing that it could blossom into a fist. But I feel like Moses delivering the great truths of the universe down to the lost and confused people of my nation, and I'm not going to let a little thing like the implied threat of punching my wife stand in the way of what I have to say, which is, you have to get your fucking act together. You're not going to call me fucking names and scream at me every goddamn morning just because I'm not being a good enough parent to your childish ass. Grow the fuck up! With the stone tablets of responsibility broken and lying on the carpet, with the stone tablets of responsibility broken and lying on the bedroom carpet, in front of my cowering flock, I walked out of the bedroom, around the living room, and into the kitchen nook to pace and think about how I could grind the stone into powder and bake it into some chocolate chip cookies, or however that fucking story goes. I grabbed my shoes from next to the front door and hid in the kitchen nook again to put them on. Only then it was sinking in that I had gone too far. It didn't matter that I restrained myself from clubbing her. What mattered was that she was cowering away from me and I kept poking at her. I know how much I scare her and I can't stop it. The spirit of Charlton Heston had abandoned me, too ashamed to let me identify with Moses anymore. I couldn't pace very far back and forth with all the dishes piled up on the floor against the wall. I circled back to the bedroom. Angie put on her blue blouse with the thick dollops of glued-on glitter forming necklaces down the front of it. Her sister had made it for her years before. Mr. T would consider it tasteful. "I'm sorry, are you all right?" I couldn't remember if I had actually touched her, if I had poked little bruises in her ribs or just imagined it. "I'm sorry." She slipped her shoes over her feet, didn't have to untie them, just pulled the backs until they came over her heels. When I get to the store, I'm calling Luann and seeing if I can stay with her for the week. Are you ready to go? She brushed past me towards the front door. Jack trailed after her, the long waves of hair off his sides looking like centipede legs propelling him across the carpet. How can two people have a serious argument with a snorting, shitting, yelping pile of hair trotting around all the time? We managed. I said, will you take the mutt back with you as a bonus? That's the end of chapter 2. And I'm going to keep trying to do a chapter every week or 2 or 3 or month. That wasn't... I was reenacting there. I was putting some acting, some oomph into it. I haven't been that pissed at Melinda lately, but some of this is kind of autobiographical. A few things were changed. This is almost word for word, but anyway. Let's see. So, hopefully that's the most embarrassing chapter. I don't know. Maybe there's more later. But I hope you'll enjoy it. If you want to buy it, if you don't want to leave comments saying, you are a bad man, and you're a mean person married to a nice lady, and whatever. Anyway, if you still want to buy it, you can search for Grand Theft Boblo. Go to lulu.com and search for Grand Theft Boblo, B-O-B-L-O, is that weird word on the end. Or you can go to grandtheftboblo.blogspot.com, and that'll have information on how to get it and stuff like that. It's $7 plus shipping for the 128-page plus front material paperback. It's about that big. Or you can let's see, the ebook is $1.75. The PDF, and technically you can legally, it's got a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license, which means you can give digital copies to your friends, post it on the internet, basically give it away for free, and that's fine with me. For now, I don't think it's gonna get big enough. It'll be a while before it gets big enough that pirated or given away copies will compete with actual sales. But I'll figure that out later when it happens. Until then, thank you very much. Bye.